And I've got it on the high setting right now, and yeah, it's putting out the heat pretty good. Today we're going to do a review on the Portable Buddy Mr. Heater, and while these seem to be everywhere, if you're looking for a portable propane heater, these guys, they seem to have the lock on the market. In my case, the thing that I kind of deal with is not so much where I might need this to use indoors. Apparently you can use it indoors. But for me, what I kind of look for is out at the range. So, you know, sometimes I just need something to kind of keep my hands warm, keep my fingers from freezing up while I'm trying to shoot. So that was the idea with this. I can take it, I can put it in the back of the Kubota RTV here. I have a portable source of heat, turn it on, get a little bit of heat going. I can keep myself a little bit warm instead of freezing my butt off. And, you know, so that's the whole plan with it. So with this, the features that they list on here, low and high setting, 4,000 or 9,000 BTUs, heats up to 225 square feet, runs 5.4 hours on low, 2.4 hours on high. So me, I would probably use it on the high setting, and just so, you know, I can get the max amount of heat out of it. And here on the side, it does say that it has an emergency low oxygen safety system and a tip over shutdown system. It's designed to be flame retardant, all that. Okay folks, so we got it out of the box. Pretty simple, straightforward. We have the unit itself, it's already pre-assembled, nothing you have to do. And then also too, we have the instructions here. We also have a letter on the front talking about they improved the performance of the tip over safety switch. And also too, in the instructions, they seem to be very thorough. Because we are burning natural gas, they have tons of warnings out there to, you know, for a lot of folks, they might not be dialed into the potential hazards of burning natural gas in an enclosed space. So tons of warnings here. And then the other thing too, they have instructions on basically how to use it. We have the troubleshooting section, so if you do have issues, and also as they mentioned, above 7,000 feet, also these heaters don't work as well due to the lack of air pressure at higher elevation, and also too slightly reduced oxygen as well. So just have that awareness. But yeah, the instructions, I think they're trying to cover every angle for obvious reasons. The unit itself, a little bit lighter than I kind of expected, but for me, I lift weights, but I think the average person should be able to basically easily carry it around, no problem at all. And so I like it because it's portable. I can just throw it in the back of the RTV. I, you know, think it doesn't take up too much room. Also, the switches, pretty simple, straightforward. You got an off switch, pilot switch, low and high. It says push knob to ignite pilot. After lit, hold for 30 seconds, release, and then turn to the desired setting. And then your camping propane cylinder goes in right here on this side. And looks like it just screws right in. Of course, a bunch of warnings over here as well. Okay, folks, so we did a quick test fire here just to make sure that everything is nice and functional before we ditch the box and everything. And seems like everything is working great. I've only had it on a couple minutes, and I've got it on the high setting right now, and yeah, it's putting out the heat pretty good. Now in here it's a little bit warmer than outside. Today it's a cold day, so you know, I'm not really fighting the cold, so to speak. If it was colder, maybe it'd take longer to warm my hands, but pretty much if I put my hands up right here, like, you know, at the distance I'm putting them up, within a couple seconds, they're pretty toasty. So I think this has got yeah, that's good. We've been using Mr. Heater here for a couple months throughout the winter, and it has done an excellent job of keeping my hands warm in these cold conditions. So the only thing with the heater running it outside that you do have to be aware of is that if there is a significant breeze, there's a good chance that it could end up blowing it out, and then the safety features will actually shut the heater off. So right now we have a winter storm that's coming in, and the winds up here are kind of swirling around. They're not too bad, but there's kind of a stout breeze, and so you can kind of maybe hear the heater a little bit kind of being subjected to that. If you put it out like right with that stout breeze blowing into it, good chance it'll shut off. So you just have to be aware of that. If you, here comes a stronger breeze here, but it's still working. Still working. Still hanging in there. And now the wind's calming down again. So that's something to be aware of, but that is to be expected because it is kind of open flame there, so to speak. What I try to do if there is kind of a breeze blowing is just turn it around so that the wind's not blowing directly into it. But I have to tell you, the amount of heat it puts out, I mean, it warms you right up. So I think at one point what I might end up doing is just buying one to put up here at the range permanently. And then like if I come up through here snowshoeing in the winter, if I need a quick source of heat, I can go ahead and put this on for a little bit, warm myself up, and then continue with snowshoeing. But yeah, it works awesome. So what we'll do is we'll wrap up the review, and we'll also talk about using it indoors as well. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap this review up. So this has worked out real well over the past couple months, and initially whenever I started the review I said, hey, we probably won't use it indoors much at all, or I didn't have plans to. And actually I have ended up using it as supplemental heat sometimes indoors. Just whenever I come into the barn, like right now it's very cold outside, I turn all the main heaters on in the barn and I just need a little bit of supplemental heat just to kind of get things going. And so I put it on for 10 to 15 minutes and then I'll shut it down here once the main heaters really get up and going. So I have used it inside a little bit as well as using it outside. As I mentioned initially or previously in the video, if you do use it outside, you do have to watch with the wind. You get a strong enough wind through it and safety features will kick in, it'll shut everything down. Other than that, runs reliably, runs great, haven't had a single issue with it. The thing I find with the propane cylinders is typically I get about 2 to 3 hours of, and I usually turn it on to high setting. So I usually get about 2 to 3 hours of heat out of each cylinder. But, however, they last me for a while. Because usually when I use it for 10 to 15 minutes at a time. But anyways, a great piece of gear. If you just need a little bit of supplemental heating and you don't have any issues with wind or anything like that, it's great for having indoors and outdoors and really putting out that heat. Even right now, sitting here, I have to make sure the camera's not getting too warm here. But it's pushing the heat out pretty good. So it's definitely doing its job.